This video is sponsored by PTCGLstore.com, a great place for you to buy Pokemon TCG code cards. Please remember to use my code NIGHT22 at checkout so that you can get a 5% discount. Before going into the video, please take a second to click that like button, and we're on the road to getting 9,000 subscribers to this channel, so please subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you all so much for all of your support, and I hope you guys are enjoying the content I put out in this channel. In today's video, I'll be showcasing Altaria EX from the Paradox Rift expansion set. Altaria EX has the ability Humming Heal. Once during your turn, you may heal all of your Pokemon by 20 HP. And it has the attack Light Pulse. For 1 water and 1 metal energy, it deals 140 damage, and this Pokemon will become immune to any effects from your opponent's attacks. Honestly, this Pokemon doesn't really stand out by itself, which is why we'll be partnering it with this Altaria, and we'll be using this mostly for its soothing lullaby attack. For 1 water and 1 metal energy, it deals 110 damage, and your opponent's active Pokemon is now asleep. And with regards to the sleep condition, during Pokemon checkup, your opponent has to flip 2 coins instead of 1. And if any of them are tails, their Pokemon remains asleep. This will prevent their Pokemon from retreating or attacking. We'll be using this to take care of the bulkier opponents. In this build, I'll be utilizing the Lost Zone engine, so naturally I'll be using a full set of Comphase so that we can use its flower selecting ability. You look at the top 2 cards of your deck, put one in your hand and the other in the Lost Zone. And we also have a full set of Colress's Experiment. You look at the top 5 cards of your deck, put 3 of them in your hand and the other 2 in the Lost Zone. And of course, the more cards we have in the Lost Zone, the easier it will be for us to use Mirage Gate. If you have at least 7 cards in your Lost Zone, you can use this to search your deck for up to 2 different types of basic energies and accelerate it to your Pokemon in any way you like. This should allow you to get the 2 different types of energies required to power up Altaria's attack. And as for the other attackers, I also have Cramorant thanks to its Lost Provisions ability. As long as you have 4 cards in the Lost Zone, you can attack with this Pokemon for 0 energy. And its attack Spit Innocently deals 110 damage. And I also have 1 copy of Sableye more for its Lost Mine attack. You can only use this if you have at least 10 cards in your Lost Zone. For 1 Psychic Energy, you can put 12 damage counters on your opponent's Pokemon in any way you like. And just as a backup, I included a 2-2 line of Zoroark in this build. With this Phantom Transformation ability, you can switch out this Pokemon with one of your Stage 1 Pokemon in your discard pile. And if you happen to be behind on prizes, you can transform into this Slowbro, more for its Twilight Inspiration attack. For 2 colorless energies, if your opponent has exactly 1 prize card remaining, you can simply take 2 of your own prize cards. This can mean an instant win in some situations. Altaria EX as a standalone is not great, but it can definitely put up a good fight. Anyways, that's pretty much it. You can find the complete deck list in the description below. Now please enjoy the following gameplay videos showcasing Altaria EX. Alright, let's get right into our first match. We're going to start this one with a Comfey in the active spot and a Zorua on our bench. It's always really nice to just set up your Zoroark line on your bench, because once you discard your stage 1s, you can just transform into them whenever you need to. And of course, we have to start building up our cards in the Lost Zone so that we can use our Mirage Gates, which is necessary for those 2 different energies for Altaria. We got a Battle VIP pass from our top deck, so definitely gonna get another Comfey and a Swablu, which we can actually evolve into. And we're gonna use flower selecting first. Okay, well, we have 1 Altaria on our hand, so I'm just gonna get this EX1 and put that in our hand. We can put an energy in our active, we can retreat and use our other Comfey. At least we can set up 2 cards in the Lost Zone to start this match. And I'm just going to use Ultra Ball, and I guess I can discard these 2 Altarias. We can just use Zoroark to transform into them, but then we can always just evolve our Swablu. But I'm just going to just discard those 2. And then I think I'm going to go for Radiant Greninja. That's going to help us to draw extra cards once we get an energy in our hand. Okay, we got Comfey. I think I'm going to go for Zorua because we have enough Comfeys in play. So Zorua is a little bit more important. That will help us to transform into our Altaria. So for now, I'm just gonna end my turn. We got 2 cards in the Lost Zone so far. And our opponent will be Mew VMAX. And
ever since Mew VMAX has been released, it's actually going to rotate out from the standard format. So this year, 2024, it's going to rotate out. It's not going to be legal in tournaments anymore. They did play an Avery, so I had to take out my Avery and Zoroa. Since we already have Zoroa already, I think that's the best option. Comfey, we will need to get extra cards from our deck to draw into them and put them in the lost zone. And of course, Zoroark, at least one Zorua so that we can transform into Altaria. So my opponent will just accelerate another Fusion Strike energy from their deck onto their Mew V, so it's now going to be ready to attack next turn. But we did get a Colress Experiment from our Flower Selecting there, which is really great. That's going to help us to draw into 3 more cards and put 2 in the lost zone. So I'll get a Zoroark and this Altaria EX. We can evolve this Swablu, and then we're still a few cards away from using Mirage Gate. So we need at least 2 more, but no way for us to retreat into our other Comfey. So not until we get into our next turn, we can use Colress Experiment, get 2 more cards in the lost zone. We can use Mirage Gate and start attacking with Altaria EX. And with 260 HP, we might actually be able to survive an attack from this Mew VMAX, unless they can get more Fusion Strike energies, and if they play Meloetta, they can definitely deal a lot of damage and knock out our Altaria EX, no problem. So we are all familiar with how Mew VMAX, the Fusion Strike engine, works here. They have a very powerful draw engine, and they can copy any attacks from their Fusion Strike Pokemon on their bench. But for now, they're just going to attack with a simple attack, taking out a Comfey. That's going to get them the first prize. But with Colress Experiment, you can draw more cards here. I think I will get Cramorant and this basic energy. Might not need Swablu here, so I'll just get another Mirage Gate. Can attack with Cramorant for free now. And then what I'm gonna do is just transform into Altaria. Can use Soothing Lullaby. Maybe my opponent will not have any switching cards, and since they've already used up their Forest Sealstone, they might not have what they need to get any switch from their deck. So now with Altaria fully energized, and then we can just attach for turn for our EX, and then we're just gonna use Soothing Lullaby, hitting for 110 damage. And okay, great. So my opponent has to flip 2 heads consecutively between turns, or between Pokemon checkup, for their Pokemon to become awake. So as of right now, unless my opponent can switch out their active, it cannot attack and it cannot retreat either. They are going to use Iono. It's gonna shuffle both our hands, and that actually gives us better cards here. Can use Colress Experiment to add more cards in the lost zone, getting us closer to being able to use Sableye at some point. That could be actually useful in this matchup. And they're gonna use Lost City. That could be very detrimental though. If they end up knocking out one of our Altarias and then they send it into the lost zone, we'll not be able to access it, especially if we're relying on this Altaria to knock out their Mew VMAX. So as long as they can't get their hands on those switches, good thing they got Tails on that Cramomatic. That Cramomatic actually has a really high percentage of getting heads, so fortunately for us, they missed that, and they're still gonna remain asleep, and really doesn't matter this turn as long as we can continue to attack here. Can use Manaphy because they are using Ice Cube that could hit our bench. For now, I'm going to use Color's Experiment, get another Mirage Gate, Super Rod for recovery, and I mean, we have stage 1. Beach Court might not be that useful, so I think I'm going to go for the switch. Alright, so now I can actually... I can use Cramorant to attack. We have 9. I can use Comfey too, actually, to get one more card in the Lost Zone. And then just retreat. I might need this basic energy to power up Sableye though, so probably not a good idea. And I don't want to use Escape Rope because that's going to remove the sleep condition on this Mew VMAX. So I don't know. I mean, I can attack with Cramorant, keep this Altaria alive, so I could just retreat. But I'm just gonna go for Comfey. I'll just get that final card into the Lost Zone. This Metal Energy could be actually be very useful for powering up our Altaria, so I'll just put the switch in the Lost Zone, and then we can use... Let's see, I'll just recover first these energies, which we can use for our Mirage Gate, and then use Mirage Gate to energize my Altaria. 1 water here and then 1 metal here, so both can now attack. And then for now, to keep my opponents active asleep, hopefully they won't flip 2 heads this turn, and I'm just gonna use Lost Mine now that we have 10 cards in the Lost Zone, and I'm just gonna put all of these damage to this Mew V, so that even if they evolve into a Mew VMAX, it's gonna be a lot closer for us to knock it out. Unfortunately, my opponent flips 2 heads, and now their active is awake. Now they can attack and even retreat if they need to. What I don't want them to do is actually attack and then just shuffle up this Mew VMAX in their active back to their deck. But then again, depending on which Pokemon they put in the active spot, if they do that, we could just use Altaria to put it to sleep and go from there. But thankfully we have Manaphy. Even if they use Ice Cube's attack with all those Fusion Strike energies in play, they could actually deal a lot of damage, but thanks to Manaphy, they are not going to hit our bench with that attack. But for now, they still have a lot of draw here, thanks to their Genesect V, and there's the Meloetta, so they can attack for a lot of damage in our active, to our active, or they can just try to attack with Genesect V's attack. But that will put them in danger though, because we can just use Altaria to put it back to sleep. Hopefully they don't have any way to retreat it. Then we can get 3 prizes just by knocking out this Mew VMAX. Okay, they're just gonna use Max Miracle. Thankfully, they did replace their Lost City Stadium card, so we actually will not lose our Sableye in the Lost Zone. Yeah, Altaria EX it has the potential to get knocked out easily because they do play Meloetta. So I'm just gonna use Town Store. I know we don't really use dual cards here, but I'm gonna use it to just check what I have left in the deck. And I have Boss's Orders though, but it's not gonna be much of help. So I'm just going to use an Escape Rope here. I could get a cheeky knockout using Boss Orders too. Let's see. Yeah, let me just knock out this Mew V with Cramorant. That will get rid of one of the Fusion Strike energies, lowering their attack damage output. And that will also get us 2 prizes while putting Cramorant in the active spot as a way for my opponent to knock it out without losing our Altaria. So one way, really, the only way we can defeat this Mew VMAX using Altaria is with the sleep condition. But they're going to attack with Ice Cube's attack. Thankfully, we have Manaphy, and that will negate that damage. So we are good here. I will go ahead and retreat my Cramorant, and I will use Altaria using Soothing Lullaby for another 110 damage. That will put their Mew VMAX to sleep. Come on, Tails. There it is. Alright, it will remain asleep. And we have boss orders. We can switch out Altaria and then finish it off with Cramorant. And then we'll have 3 prizes in the bag if we do knock out this Mew VMAX. And then maybe we can use just get the boss orders to get one of their Ice Cube or maybe their Meloetta and just knock it out for the win. So that's our plan here. My opponent has a lot of boss orders and we're really counting on them not being able to find any switching cards. They have lost Vacuum, but we don't have any tool cards and we're not using stadiums, so we are safe. They are digging for that card. I'm not sure how much, if any, they have any switching cards in this deck. We'll find out. They have 1 escape rope. And they're just gonna pass. Alright. And they're gonna continue to be asleep. So this turn we will be able to knock out their Mew VMAX, getting us 3 prizes. I'm gonna go ahead and use Switch and have Altaria AX finish off this active. But that's pretty much what I want to do right now. Just knock out their Mew VMAX, getting us 3 prizes. And yeah, that pretty much sets up for a win. And unless my opponent has any way to shuffle up my hand, I have boss orders. Even if they knock out my Altaria EX, we can just use our boss orders to get their Ice Cube or their Meloetta into the active spot to knock it out for the win. They are gonna boss my Altaria with the Soothing Lullaby attack, but it doesn't matter. We will take the last prize on our next turn. Not bad. Altaria EX is actually not bad when paired with this Altaria with this sleep condition attack. And yeah, this is actually not a bad combo at all. So there you have it, guys. Altaria with a Soothing Lullaby and Altaria EX. Just gonna use boss orders, get this Meloetta knocked out with the attack Light Pulse, dealing 140 damage to get us our last prize. Alright, very good game. Alright, moving on to our next match. We are going to start with Cramorant in the active spot. My opponent won the coin flip and they have decided to go first. But we're starting strong with a Battle VIP pass in our hand so that we can get our Comface. And we do have to start strong by being able to get as many cards in the Lost Zone as much as we can. But my opponent has Iron Hands, which could be very dangerous, especially if they can get it powered up. They can get an extra prize for knocking out one of our weaker Pokemon, especially Cramorant is weak against lightning. So this is not good at all. But hopefully we can get around that and my opponent doesn't energize their Iron Hands EX. There's the lightning energy onto it. Not sure they can do much on their very first turn, but we'll find out. Alright, we got another escape rope from our top deck. We're going to use our Battle VIP pass get 2 Comfays. We have switching options that we can get 2 cards in the lost zone at least. And then using their Pokestop, we actually lost 2 cards from that, but that's alright. We can use our escape rope, use flower selecting, then see what we get. We got Slowbro and a Beach Core. We're gonna go for Slowbro. We could get a cheeky knockout here, especially if my opponent gets to their very last prize, and then if we have 2, we can just win it instantly. We got a Colress Experiment from Flower Selecting, so we can actually get another Bell VIP pass here, but I'm gonna go for Basic Energy and then just use Zorua here. And then I'm gonna discard these 2, get it ready for Zoroark to transform. And then I go for another Zorua. So we'll set up these 2, and then I'm gonna use Cramorant because we can attack with it now. And then we're gonna use Spit Innocently for 110 damage against this Iron Hands. So far we're doing okay. If we can knock out this Iron Hands, finish it off with Altaria EX, I think we should be okay. As long as this Iron Hands EX is in the active spot, there's no other way they can energize it unless they have other Pokemon that can draw into, I'm not sure. Okay, so this is a Lost Box engine as well. So they should be relying on Mirage Gate to put energies on this Iron Hands EX. It's either that, or I was thinking they are using the electric generator as well. But that would mean they'd have to keep their Iron Hands EX on their bench to energize it. But as it is, they still need a lot more cards in the Lost Zone. They are able to switch out their Iron Hands and healing it thanks to the switching card, which heals it 30. So it is beyond knockout range of Altaria EX, but we can still knock it out with 2 attacks. So it is still possible. Okay, they can use Escape Rope. Gonna switch into Comfey. And they just need 1 more energy to this Iron Hands EX to deal a lot of damage. But no, they're going to go for a heal using another switch card to heal 30 more damage to their Iron Hands EX. And they're going to end their turn. Alright. So this is pretty dangerous because they can deal a lot of damage with this Iron Hands. For the meantime, we're just going to continue to use Flower Selecting to put more cards in the Lost Zone. I will get this Swablu evolve into a Zoroark, and then we still need 2 more to use Mirage Gate. Hopefully I can draw into another Colress Experiment. Okay, so use another Comfey here. Sableye. Alright, we're gonna go for Sableye. That could be very important. And then, I mean, I could put an energy to Swablu. Use Pokestop, maybe you can find something. Alright, we gotta switch in an Ultra Ball. Yeah, I'm not sure if I want to. I mean, one option I can have is use Cramorant. But let me just use Altaria EX. Transform with my Zoroark. That way I can start energizing it. And I'll just attack with Cramorant, dealing 110 damage with Spit Innocently. And that puts us closer to knocking out this Radiant Greninja. So at least with Altaria EX, even if they do use Sableye as well, we could use Altaria EX to heal the damage counters that is spread by Sableye. So that's the plan anyways. But we'll see where it takes us. And if this is the one that uses Roaring Moon EX as well, Altaria EX can actually prevent us from getting knocked out. So this could be a good matchup for us. This is definitely winnable. We just have to be patient and not get knocked out with this Iron Hands EX. Because again, that's going to get them one extra prize. They have 4 cards in the Lost Zone so far, so still need 3 more to go to be able to use Mirage Gates. But with Color's Experiment, that will get them 2 more. So we're pretty much even. And I mean, we'll have to retreat our Cramorant to use our Comfey to get 1 more. Use Mirage Gate and be able to attack with Altaria. And they're also using Palkia. Alright. Very interesting. It's a way to recover those water energies and put on their Radiant Greninja, I guess. And get multiple knockouts if they need to. But they did put their Kyogre in the Lost Zone. So that means no high damage to our bench, which is great. Especially we have our bench barrier in the Lost Zone already, so. Alright, they're gonna use Escape Rope. And we're just gonna put Altaria EX in the active spot. What's great about Altaria EX is that it is a dragon type, so it doesn't have any weakness to those typings. But now it has 150 HP. We can heal it up. I don't want to waste this energy though. Let's see what we get here with the Pokestop. There's the Color's Experiment, unfortunately. That's what we needed. Let's see here. I mean, I could use Cramorant, get a knockout here. Go ahead and just use Ultra Ball. I could just recover it with Super Rod. Get rid of these 2 and then get another Altaria EX. That way I can heal 20 HP to my Pokemon. That's a total of 40. And then go ahead and use Flower Selecting. That way I can use Mirage Gate. And we got Color's Experiment. Dude. We already have 1 water energy in the Lost Zone. But I'm going to go for Color's Experiment, I think. It's a hard choice to make, but this is going to help us draw extra cards. We go ahead and get Boss Orders, the Switch, and a basic energy. We can spare Psychic Energy in the Lost Zone. And then we're going to recover Water Energy and then this Metal Energy as well. Now we can use Mirage Gate. We have a Switch, so we should be able to attack with Altaria EX. Alright, let's go ahead and use Mirage Gate. And I'm going to put it on this Altaria because it doesn't have any damage yet. So we should be safe. And then we're going to switch out to this Altaria EX. Get a knockout. And that's going to get us our prize. First prize. But for now, we're just going to heal up our Altaria EX by 40 damage. Keeping it safe. Put an energy to it. And then knock out this Cramorant. Alright, very good. Alright, so that's our first knockout. Let's see what my opponent does here. They are running out of cards though. They have like 8 left in the deck. They're going to shuffle back 2 more Color's Experiment back to their deck. Flower Selecting. Wonder if they play any Sableye. I mean, that is one way they can spread damage. But again, thanks to Altaria EX, we can just heal up all those damage counters that they spread. But also they can use Radiant Greninja. Since we don't have Manaphy to protect our bench anymore, they could knock out 2 of our Pokemon easily. But right now, the price exchange has not been very aggressive here. We've only taken 1 prize so far, and my opponent still has yet to take 1. But they are recovering a lot of cards from their discard pile back to the deck. Alright, they're going to evolve into Palkia V-Star. Now they have Star Portal available to them. They can accelerate up to 3 water energies to their Pokemon. And they're going to put 2 to Palkia V-Star and 1 to Radiant Greninja. And they could accelerate 1 energy from their hand. Or no, they can use Mirage Gate now. They have enough cards in the Lost Zone to be able to use it. So now they can use Greninja's attack to hit multiple targets. They could take out my Zorua and my Comfey. Get 2 prizes for that. And there's the Sableye. Definitely spread damage, but thanks to Altaria's attack, the effects of Sableye should not be able to do anything to it, to our active, if they try to put damage counters onto it. So at least we have that to protect us. But for now, we're going to just try to heal as much as we can and knock out as much of their Pokemon as we can. We have boss orders available to us, so we'll see where it takes us. They're going to take 2 knockouts, taking out our Zorua and our Comfey. That will take 2 prizes. My opponent will take 2 prizes for that. Alright, so now it's our turn. We go ahead and heal up first here. So that will reduce the damage counters on my bench Altaria AX 30. And I mean, we have enough. We don't have enough to use Sableye just yet, but we might not need it at all. See here, I could take out this Radiant Greninja. It's not much of a threat really, but I'm gonna go ahead and just take out this Sableye for now. It's gonna get us another prize. So me and my opponent are on the same playing field. We've both taken 2 prizes so far. I mean, they could try and attack with Radiant Greninja. Alright, they're down to their last prize, or their last card in the deck. They will deck out if they're not careful. Super Rod. They're recovering a lot of stuff here. Mirage Gates. But thankfully, our Altaria EX is actually immune to this Roaring Moon EX. So they can't instantly knock us out, but they can deal a lot of damage if they use their second attack. And sure enough, they're going to use Calamity Storm. They knew that they can't instantly knock out our Altaria EX. So we're going to go with that. Alright, cool. Let's go ahead and use Humming Heal again. It's going to fully heal the one on our bench. And then can still survive here. I mean, they can use Radiant Greninja to actually knock out our active. But they are running out of cards, slowly but surely. So let's see, if we can take out one Pokemon at least. Let's go ahead and use Colress Experiment. We have Super Rod for sure to recover our cards. Can use Escape Rope. Maybe push out this Roaring Moon EX. Let me go ahead and use Super Rod, recover Zoroark and a basic energy. Can power up Sableye. And I can actually use Mirage Gate to power up Sableye. I think we could knock out this Radiant Greninja and this Comfey. Get 2 prizes for that. Get ahead in the prize exchange. And then just take out one more 2-prizer to win the game. Go ahead and get rid of these 2. Start setting up my Zoroark line again. Because if we end up taking it to just 1 prize remaining and then can energize Slowbro, we could win it. But we don't have any more energies. Oh no. And no more recovery. We have 1 metal energy in our hand though, so we could actually still attack with Slowbro if we need to, but my opponent doesn't know that, right? So we gotta take a risk. We have 1 more water energy in the deck, so we could attack with either of our Altaria EX. So for now, I'm just going to use Lost Mine to take out Radiant Greninja, and it just needs that much, and then we can take out this for exactly 70 damage. Now we can get 2 prizes for that, so we are looking good, but still a very close call. My opponent will take 1 prize if they knock out our Sableye, and what I could do is actually transform into an Altaria. I have 2 more energies available to me. And maybe I could actually put one of their stage 1 or their 2 prize Pokemon, keep it in the active spot, and then we can win that way. So let's see what my opponent does here. They are gonna hard retreat their Roaring Moon EX, but with Iron Hands EX being able to knock out Sableye easily, they just need 1 more energy. They can actually take 1 prize, 1 extra prize by knocking out this Sableye. And yeah, that's going to put it closer to winning this game. Again, it's going to put us in an even playing field. This is a very close matchup for sure. There's the energy to use Amp You very much, dealing 120 damage, knocking out our Sableye, and that's gonna get on 1 extra prize. So now it's do or die for us here. If they have a boss orders, they can knock out my Altaria with 180 damage. So let's see what we could do here. We got a Mirage Gate. I might have to sacrifice the energy in my active and then use Mirage Gate to get that water energy from my deck and power up Altaria EX. But that removes any prospect for me to using my Slowbro. Let me go ahead and heal this Altaria EX for now. Not that it's gonna make any big difference, because they can still knock it out with Iron Hands EX in any way. It is dealing a lot of damage. But I could put him to sleep with Slowbro. I mean, Slowbro has an attack that can put both our Pokemon to sleep. Let me go ahead and use Phantom Transformation. And then... I don't know. That's the only possible way we can win this one. I'll just power up this Altaria AX on my bench, retreat, and then just attack for 140. And I'm just going to bluff with Slowbro. I can put them to sleep with it. So, I mean, if we can deck them out by just keeping their Pokemon asleep, we should be okay. But if they can just attack a few more times, they could definitely knock out my Altaria EX. And if they have a boss orders, you could just boss my benched Altaria EX to win it. But they're going to hard retreat their Iron Hands EX into Palkia V-Star. And can they deal enough damage to knock out my active? That's the question. They might have it already, if they have boss orders. But no, they're gonna go for Subspace Swell. Thankfully, we don't have 5 Pokemon. We got boss's orders from our top deck. Let's go! And that's gonna finish it up this game. We can just boss their Iron Hands EX. My opponent definitely had it if they had boss orders, but we got it first. We're gonna use Light Pulse to take out this Iron Hands EX for the win. A definitely close call there, but we made it thanks to that clutch boss orders from our top deck. Wow, very good game.
And that's it for the video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, please don't forget to smash the like button for me. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and please subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. Thank you so much for watching the Popsicleknight channel, and as always, stay safe and have a great day.